Now I gotta act sound all educational for his project. Come on now, I can't say shit and shit.
They can be as personal or as vague as possible. Up to you.
How do you feel about growing up?
I was like super like imaginative, like creative kid, but I was like kind of violent too. It was like weird.
Like when you're younger, things are obviously more awkward and like just uncomfortable.
I was like kind of violent too. It was like weird.
I mean, because when you're little, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
My home base was chaotic. My friends didn't want to come over to my house because my stepdad could blow up at any moment. When I was 3, my parents divorced, and to sort of compensate for the chaos all around me, I became a neat freak, symbolically just having control over everything. Yeah. I started cleaning my room on my own. I would make my bed, I would tuck the covers in real tight, and then I would slide into bed and slide out and just barely have to tuck the covers back in. I was really neat and organized.
Don't relax your hair.
Why?
My hair was so long when we were younger, but our mom, she tricked us. And because she was tired of taking care of her hair, and 6 years she asked us if we just want to relax it. Well, she didn't ask us, she just did it. So, our hair could have been so much better.
If anything, I used to be most confident when I used to run.
Why don't you run again?
Because it sucks.
Why don't you run again?
Because it's so.
It was like weird.
Personally, I can admit it and say that I am not the best daughter at all.
Oh, me either. I'm a shit daughter.
They are an all-female party crew called Unpredictable Ladies, or UPL. And they're on their way to a Saturday night party.
You know how crazy it is going to college and
realizing
you're not a good daughter?
Realizing how shit of a kid you were for the past so
college
long.
Did that shit
because you have to clean up after you.
I want children, so I can be a good dad to a child.
My experience of parents is that they're just way overly present, which I think I've read studies, it leads to depression in college kids because they don't know how to navigate the world for themselves. They don't know how to do pain.
I want kids so I can love kids and so I can have a family.
You probably don't know this, but I'm not having kids. Not 1, not
really?
2, not 3. I don't want any. Yes, I better get married. I love. I don't want any. Oh.
It literally goes from 0 to 100 almost overnight. You don't expect it, and suddenly you need kids. You're 30 and you just.
And all your friends are having kids, and you feel like you're not on the wave.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So maybe I'll think like that, but till then I don't know.
What about when you're just with your husband? It's just the two of you, the rest of your lives.
Awkward. So you're just this is what we're supposed to do next. We should probably get that done. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So maybe I'll think like that, but till then I don't know.
I sleep around with people or anything. I don't let people grab me. I know what I'm doing. I have a mind of my own.
I want adventure in my life.
I also don't believe in anything that's predetermined.
But how will life turn out to be?
From what I'm looking at it, unpredictable. And I don't know if that's good or bad.
Strip, dance. It's not about gangs. We're not about gangs. It's about go-going, dancing, friendships, stripping. I mean, we all have different talents.
I think just life in general gets worse as you grow up.
This is an amazing place to be, but it's nothing like what I pictured when I was your age.
Where are you going to be in 10 years?
I'm going to be in bed with Denzel Washington. No, I'm just
I'm really grateful for it, but what the fuck am I doing here? I don't know.
I'm stagnant in posting because I don't know if people will like it.
How does a person get to be popular with lots of people and have a few close friends too? Let's watch and see what makes people like one person and not another.
Then I think not posting is better than posting and feeling scared for it. I have the anxiety whenever I post something.
I guess what I'm experiencing is owning where I've arrived to.
I feel like we'll all get a lot more older and mature that we'll stop worrying about what other people think.
Owning where I've arrived to.
Because you look at old people
don't give a fuck.
People
don't give a fuck.
People
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And look, they're so happy. I feel like once we get older, that's gonna happen to us. Us right now, like we're concerned with a lot of shit, like how we look, like all that shit. I think not posting is better than posting and feeling like scared. It's like who wants to fail? I have the anxiety when I post something like that. I've seen how my parents use Facebook. They use it to flex on people, and that's just like not healthy. I feel like we're all get a lot more older and mature that we'll stop worrying about what other people think.
I think just life in general gets worse as you grow up.
I'm not gonna get scared. I'm going to college. I'm gonna have a college degree that gets you far in the world. Well, so far.
What am I gonna do with?
Where you gonna be in 10 years?
10 years? Chilling in my mansion, yo. You know, have my boys over there. She never future wife over here. But she won't wreck the car. I won't let her drive.
Oh, that was wrong. That was wrong. You wrecked the car.
When I was in college, I was a philosophy major who had just really discovered girls.
Don't forget the
Where you gonna be in 10, man?
Where?
Where you gonna be in 10 years?
My own practice.
Could spiral into student debt if I continue at this university and get a job that I'll end up hating and quitting.
I ended up wanting not to do that, and I just ended up reading books and smoking cigarettes and eating donuts for a year.
It's a life.
Or not even getting a job at all, because who the fuck knows?
I know that like if I had to, if nothing else worked out and I graduated and I needed a job, I could go work for some like investment bank and be fine.
If I guess view my life as an either or, that's a useless conflict.
Yeah.
That's going to be unfruitful, and it's just going to build resentment in me.
Who the fuck knows?
But that's scary. Like, who wants to fail? If we weren't scared of failure, we would definitely try anything in our power to, like, do something.
It's an insecurity that I don't have the answer, but it's way worse not to ask the question.
One person is completely fine with just like going to work every day.
You're a 9 to 5.
A 9 to 5.
Sick and tired. I'm fed up with everything. No from you guys, no from you players. And they can do any thing they want to do. I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit.
And I didn't know that I was going to be a suburban dad who coached soccer. But if I choose to stay and build goodness and gratitude and compassion in my sons, I don't know that I have to see them as an either or. I get to choose these persons over like some imagination.
They've made a family and lived a good life. For someone else, their meaning of life is to rule the world.
Xavier, where are you going to be in 10 years?
I don't even know, man. Let's see.
This is good. This is
About 10 years. I should have a nice job. We get paid. I ain't gonna lie. Family, doctor. Let's see. Successful young black woman in the field. Whatever it may be.
And so, why is religion going to tell me that someone else is going to determine that?
You didn't choose to be on Earth, though. And you didn't choose.
No, I didn't choose to be on Earth. I'm here. But what am I choosing to do with my time here?
Who the fuck knows?
I want my kids to understand that their lives are theirs, that their mistakes are their mistakes, but their triumphs are their triumphs.
If we weren't scared of failure, we would definitely try anything in our power to, like, do something.
What do you think about that? Priscilla, where are you going to be in 10?
Excuse me, working for the Chicago
Not in the hair,
Bulls.
Paula.
You're going to be working for Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yes, baby. Sitting on the sidelines, running out on the court going, are you okay, honey?
Speaking of fake dreams, Otis, what you going to be when you...
I'm going to die one day, right?
The only thing that you know is going to happen is that you're going to die. Like, that's the only thing that is guaranteed, right?
And like, what's the thing that's motivating me to live life? To like leave a mark on this world, right? So after I die, people will remember me for some type of thing.
So where you going to be, man?
I want to be in Florida.
What do I need to do?
Oh.
I want to be in the Bahamas waiting for someone.
You better wait.
Someone special.
That'd be great.
20 years less possibility. I'm looking at my death in a much more like meaningful way. I don't think that death was even an image when I was 20. But now it's like, oh no, that's real.
10 years.
10 years, I'll probably get my second Pulitzer Prize.
Oh.
Me, I can only do so much in the world for so long. And, you know, who knows, maybe it'll be super impactful, maybe it'll just be little. But why not be happy doing it?
Have you read The Tempest? Alright, so basically there's this guy named Prospero, and he gets fucked over by his brother, and he has all these magical powers, and he tries to get revenge on his brother, and it's super obvious that he's gonna be able to, because he has all this power, right? So like the climax of the story isn't is he gonna be able to get revenge? The climax isn't like an external thing, but an internal thing that happens within him. And that's what I feel like everyone's life is like. The climax of your life won't be if you fucking, I don't know, if you're an athlete, if you made that jump shot or whatever the fuck, or like made a touch, you know what I mean? Like, the climax of everyone's life, in my opinion, is something that happens internally.
Like, I have panic attacks thinking about this. How
the climax of everyone's life, in my opinion, is something that happens internally.
Every human is trying to figure out the meaning of life, and they're gonna be running in circles. Everything is just like created by man to make living on this earth right now feel better and more enjoyable. Feel better and more enjoyable.
That's why I think that having faith gives people that idea that what you're doing is important. And I think that
I mean, I believe that what I'm doing is important, but I don't have to like believe in a higher power controlling what I'm doing.
If there's no like higher power, there's nothing, like absolutely nothing, then it almost feels like none of it does matter. Then it almost feels like none of it does matter. Then it almost feels like none of it does matter. Then it almost feels like
it does feel like that, but I'm doing it. Then how does God exist? What is his job? What is he here for?
Are you angry at God for allowing your parents to divorce?
What is his job? What is he here for?
So my idea of God is love.
Okay.
And I had my Sunday school reasons for it. Are you angry at God?
I really don't know.
Okay, fuck.
You shouldn't feel good about doing something good if you don't feel bad about doing something bad. And I think a lot of people don't feel bad about doing something bad
without a higher power,
without having any faith.
What is his job? What is he here for? But I don't want to feel like someone's holding me accountable. I want to be good because I am a good person.
I think that it's important to try to be good. And that will make you fit in sometimes, and that will make you stand out sometimes.
Just because, like, you're religious doesn't mean that you should be any better than someone who isn't. Oh, you're Catholic, then you're supposed to be so holy and, like, so kind. That's not true. You believe in something, you support it, but you're still human. You know, you're still shitty.
Now, anxiety is the mark of spiritual insecurity. It is the fruit of unanswered questions. But questions cannot go unanswered unless they first be asked. And there is a far worse anxiety, a far worse insecurity, which comes from being afraid to ask the right questions, because they might turn out to have no answer. One of the moral diseases we communicate to one another in society comes from huddling together in the pale light of an insufficient answer to a question we are afraid to ask.
In the end, it'll be fine. If it's not fine, it's not the end.
But what if you die and it's never fine?